Hello, Reed.
Good evening or afternoon, wherever you're listening to this. Nick Finelli.
We're doing the damn thing, Reed. We're here.
Yeah, happy to be here, bro.
Yeah. Why are we here, bub?
That's a great fucking question, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, Nick and I both have reconnected over the last few years. We grew up in the same hometown, Upper Arlington, Ohio, the Golden Ghetto, and yeah, just through social media, staying connected, we kind of realized pretty quickly that we have pretty similar interests. A lot of it being in fitness and then life views and where we want to go. But what's your backstory? Why are you here?
Hell yeah. Two guys from the Golden Ghetto on a mic, dude. But yeah, our story, it's pretty cool. Like in our adult lives, kind of transitioning out of sports and more into like the health, fitness side of things. I grew up heavy into athletics and then cheered a little bit when I was in college. But then, once that's kind of stripped away, you kind of lose somewhat of your identity a little bit. And transitioning into a lot of lifting and running into your adult life, you kind of find a little bit more purpose behind that. And as we both started to post a little bit more on social media, it's like, oh yeah, I know this dude from high school and we grew up together. But it's like, oh no, we actually have a shit ton more in common in our adult lives than I ever would have thought. So what about you? A little backstory on you?
Yeah, I mean, I was a soccer player growing up. That was pretty much my life. And wanted to, go pro, play in college, all that. But I had two knee surgeries end of high school and stopped playing.
Look at that. We have that in common too. Two knee surgeries, bro.
Yeah, my knee is fucked up from playing this week. Had a play out with my dad and his soccer buddies, and then brought out their kids for Christmas this week. And we played some indoor, and let's just say I'll be going back into retirement for another year because my knee is so fucked up. But yeah, I was a soccer player, and after I was, went through these injuries, had to kind of figure out what I was going to do to stay active. And I slowly got into lifting kind of the end of high school, I guess training in the weight room at the high school. But yeah, I started going more consistently and then ended up quickly falling in love with it as a new thing to do. And through that kind of led me through college in terms of my interests in the body and studying it. And yeah, it just kind of fostered my interests of both engineering and health. And that's kind of what's led me down this rabbit hole. And sticking with it, I've realized I've got an aptitude for it in terms of learning. And yeah, we share that interest in terms of learning, growing. And that's kind of why we're here. We just want to talk, get our ideas out, and yeah, see if we can grow as people.
Yeah, just shooting the shit. But yeah, for real, you are one of the most intelligent people that I know when it comes to like biology of the body, everything that you put in your body and how it reflects literally any type of function that you do. Like we've gone over blood work, we've gone over like how things make us feel, and so much in that. But one of the reasons like I've enjoyed getting to know you too is I feel like as adult males, it's really hard to be vulnerable and open with one another. And ever since like we started working out with each other, we've kind of like cut that super deep, like really early. Like we've gone through a ton of different shit in our adult lives that we both are very open with each other about. And that's helped us grow as friends too.
Yeah, I think that's something I've come to value and realize that you're not going to get much benefit from kind of putting up your masks and hiding who you really are. But when you find people who you can just literally be yourself and vulnerable, and for the good or for bad, that's how you can really foster relationships. And then if people accept you for who you are, great. If they don't, they don't. But
yeah, if they don't accept you, fuck them.
Yeah, that's kind of the attitude I've wanted to take with my life, is just be open with people. And I'm glad I've been able to do that with you, and vice versa.
But yeah, going back to like those original ideas of the pod, like we want to get like deep about some of the like struggles of male adult life or just adult life in general. Like we both love health, we both love fitness, And we can also say really dumb shit to each other and have a good time. So I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah, I hope my employers or future employers do not listen to this.
No one from HR needs to hear this at all.
Yeah. I already have a poor enough relationship with HR, so.
Dude, let's kick it back from like square one. Like whenever we first started getting back into like health and fitness together, like you were just moving back from Austin and like trying to figure some stuff out with like work personally and us getting to know each other. Like what was that process like, just moving cities as a mid-20s guy? Like obviously you had a base down there and trying to come back up here. What was that process like, just relocating and trying to like get yourself grounded again?
It was interesting because I had a lot going on in my life, and the last several years of my life kind of been. Sorry, I've got a Jolly Rancher in my mouth, so
Sugar
you hear a
hole
little
over here.
sucking going on back here. That's why. Yeah, I was going through some health challenges over the last several years and dealing with that also in Austin. I was kind of just like in a weird limbo in my life. It was my first job out of college, trying to figure out what I want to do professionally. And yeah, making a new life. So I like made a life down there. I actually loved Austin very much. Quickly made friends and kind of create my own social group. And funny enough, a lot of the people I was friends with, I met randomly through essentially Ohio State. My whole friend group, my buddy Brandon, first day at the gym, came up to me and he saw I was wearing a Threes shirt. Nothing Ohio State on it, but he just saw me wearing this shirt.
Oh, the infamous Threes.
The greatest bar on Ohio State's campus. The greatest staff, I would say.
Debatable, but North Campus for sure, it's up there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he saw me wearing the shirt at the gym, first day at the gym, and he just said, "Go Bucks." I was like, "Oh, fuck, what?
OSU, baby, travel.
So I ended up going to talk with him and ended up meeting him and some of his other buddies and became friends with them. And then my whole friend group kind of spread out from there. But yeah, very grateful for that. But I created, this new life down there, and with my job situation, ended up getting laid off after about a year and a half down there and had to search for, a new job. And I work in tech, and the job market was pretty shitty as it's been the last several years. And yeah, I ended up searching for 6 months, and the only offers I got were in Huntsville, Alabama or Dayton, Ohio. So I ended up coming back to Dayton, Ohio, about an hour away from Columbus, where I grew up. And yeah, I went there for my new position, working at the Air Force Base. And it was tough because I felt like I had this new life down there, and I had to put in all this extra effort to try and build myself up.
And you were still full-time in Dayton, right, when we started to reconnect?
Yeah, so full-time job there. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much had to like rebuild a whole new life there again, which was challenging. And as I was dealing with this health stuff, it was just all this different stress and wonders about like, what am I doing? What matters, literally. Because it was hard to give up my life there, and wondering if I'll be able to pick that back up other times, or like these relationships that I made, whether, were they all for nothing, or will I still be able to kind of cultivate those? And thankfully I've definitely cultivated some of them, and I've kind of realized who my like really good friends are, because we still stay in touch, still, get to see them. But yeah, it was challenging because I was dealing with all this different stuff all at once in terms of my health, and then job, and then getting forced to move back to Ohio.
Just all the different buckets of stress hitting you at one time.
Yeah, and it was ended up being probably the most challenging year of my life for many different reasons. But that's also how we've connected, is going through all this. It's kind of forced us to learn what we value and who we are. And when you kind of feel like you've lost so much, it forces you to realize what is valuable to you. So then you can actually go after that.
For sure.
yeah, that was kind of just a ramble, but
All good, brother. Yeah, I mean, for me, I've always been in Columbus ever since we graduated from college. I've been here, and it's kind of like the opposite situation. Like, I had all of my friends that were here, and they went off to a different location, did their own thing, got a job in a different city, whatever it may be. And so I was forced to kind of make friends in my adult life, which has been a little bit more difficult than you would think. But one of the nice things is developing hobbies and interests and stuff and trying to make friends in those areas. But one of the best things was this year has probably been the toughest year of my life. You know, a lot of other people know, like I've gone through a lot of shit in my early 20s, mid 20s, whatever it may be. But this year, as you know, by far one of the toughest years that I've ever dealt with. And one of the things that we promised each other earlier this year was hopping on a mic and talking about difficult things, funny things, and it's going to be a great time trying to develop this and just see where it goes.
yeah, and I think for both of us, it's not so much we want some type of outcome from this other than it's almost like a fucking therapy session, just like talking it out and seeing if we can take something from it.
Oh yeah.
We
The second we both had a live mic in front of our face, we're like, oh yeah, it's like talking with a dick straight in front of your face. So here we go.
yeah, I definitely do not have any experience of that, of course. I think we just want to talk about our interests, and we have a lot of those in common, and then seeing how we can kind of take that, get our own spins on it, and see how we can apply it to our own lives, like to actually like better our views or improve ourselves.
For sure. Yeah.
So this episode is sponsored by absolutely nobody.
It's sponsored by the Coke Zero in my fridge.
Yeah, you got any Sprite Zero, dog?
I do, actually.
Yeah, can I get one of those?
Go for it. But yeah, one of the things that Reed and I have been talking about a lot recently is the presence of God in our lives and how it's really made a positive impact. And not to be, total Bible thumper, but I really do think like a huge presence of a higher power in everybody's life is something that can be advantageous. No matter how big or small that presence is, it's just so helpful in guidance in your daily life and just the trajectory of where you want to go. Like, I had a specific experience to where God called me. I did not call God. And Reed knows I've had a huge up and down relationship with God. And of all of those times that I've been up and down, I have never been closer. Nice. As he cracks a Sprite Zero. Yes.
Look at that.
But I've never been closer to God that I am now. And it's because of the specific things that I've gone through. And I try to practice every day, pray every day. And just the combination of those different things has really helped me in morale and just how I want to live my life. Do you have experiences like that too?
Yeah, I guess one of the points you brought up, just like how it's kind of become kind of central to who you are in term, like whether you realize it or not. Like, I truly believe, whether it be religion or spirituality, I don't think humans can live without it. I think it is like a natural function of who people are at their core. There's a lot of things that come from that, like connection, love, and that can manifest in many different ways. And trying to find that, like, you can find that through God. But yeah, I think it's a very interesting topic. But for me, I was very similar. Like, I guess rewinds. Both of us were in the same Catholic, PSR growing up.
Oh yeah,
and that's how we actually kind of knew each other a bit more. But
classic St. Andrew's First Holy Communion. I saw the picture on Christmas, brother.
Shout out St. Andrews. I miss Father Watson very much. What a great guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we both grew up Catholic, and for me, I can say I grew up Catholic as my parents were, but I didn't have any appreciation for anything.
No, because I don't know how you feel, but like for me, it felt a little bit forced just because, hey, I had to go to church with mom on Sunday, had to go to PSR every Sunday night, and it was just kind of like, nope, this is how it is, and we didn't really have like you're right, the appreciation, I guess.
Yeah, I never understood any of it. Like I didn't have a realization of why I was doing it. It was just not forced upon me. Like I don't feel that way, and some people criticize Catholicism for that, but it was more my parents were like, "You should do this. This is what we did." But yeah, I went through and I really didn't have any appreciation for it. And then as I went into college, I just kind of didn't know what I thought of religion. I was like, I believe in God, but I don't know what that is, and I had questions about what is right and wrong in terms of, I guess, like a religious framework,
or just like what even is God? Mm-hmm. What does he symbolize? What does he do?
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't until after I went through some hardship in college, after the fact, trying to find meaning. I felt like I was at a pretty low point in terms of just like my mental state and searching for something. Like I was just wondering like what's going to bring me any meaning. And I ended up pulling back out the Bible just because I was wondering like what, I need to find something. And talking with one of my close friends, James McCombs, he recommended like reading the Bible and like, or at least going back and revisiting it. And the first day I did that, just immediately started bawling my eyes out, and like going through such a period of like disconnection and feeling like there was no love or enjoyment in my life. When that moment happened, I knew, I was like, there's something there.
Yep.
Like, and I think about it from like a biological perspective, maybe there's something else going on, but also that was a sign for me, just like, there's something there. I need to pursue this. After feeling like there was no emotion in my life, having that moment and like that release, I was like, okay, there's a reason that I'm feeling this way right now. So yeah, getting like after that, I started, getting back into my faith and then learning more, learning stuff that I probably should have learned years and years ago, but I just never cared when I was younger. But that's okay. And that's part of the process is when you go through that, you start to have an appreciation for why. Yep. And you start to I didn't have a why when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until I went through that hardship that I found your faith is kind of your why. Like that's what keeps you going. Yeah, I mean, what do you think about that?
I honestly think God's timing is everything. I think that he spoke to you at just the right time to open the Bible again and start getting more serious with your faith. Just because from my perspective, a very similar thing happened. And no matter how much you want to pray or how much you want to have something there to get you through things, he will pick the perfect time and he has a plan for you. And when he told you to open the Bible and the result was bawling your eyes out, that is the exact moment that I think you needed at that time. But I had the exact same thing happen. Like for how I feel now with the guidance and just how safe and secure I feel with my life now, having God back in it. Yeah, dude, of course. I wish this shit happened to me like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it was at 28 years old, not when I was, 23, 24. But like, I think I was 19 years old the last time I stepped foot in a church, which was my mom's funeral. So like not even Christmas, Easter, none of those, like none of the holy holidays, anything like that, outside of a wedding or a funeral or something. But yeah, it was November 23rd of this year when I was 28 that I went back to a church for the first time, and I had the exact same thing happen. It was hard for me to sit through mass, like in a good way. Like I cried the entire time just because I had that spiritual awakening of him coming back into my life, to where he came in to my home and told me that now is the time for God to be back in your life. And for me to go to his home and read his words in his house was super emotional for me. So it happened for the best, but damn, faith is strong.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a reason that all this stuff happens, and that's something that I've definitely tossed and tugged with. Like I'm wrestling with like on a daily basis is, again, trying to find that meaning. And, when you have that moment that is like so powerful with that emotional release,
Yeah.
and you don't feel that every day, trying to find that trust in the process, and like, this is where you are meant to be. It's hard. It's very hard, but only in hindsight do you realize like some of these things that happen to you are meant, like, yeah, God meant for to happen to you in terms of this is what you need to go through right now to get where you want to be. Even though in the moment it might just be, it could be empty, it could be despair.
Empty and despair, those are two big words that I was going to pivot to. But if you think about us in our transition back into faith, think about our demographic as late 20s guys and maneuvering through our adulthood with faith now. So many people in our society now are chasing the wrong things, right? They're chasing lust over love. They have no idea who their self-identity is. They are broken as people, and they just don't have any type of fulfillment, right? For me, faith has guided me in the right directions in some of those areas. And I think it would be pretty powerful if a lot more people, in men specifically, got involved with faith. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree. And I think you are seeing that across the board. There's a lot of talk about the male, like loneliness and males' mental health over the last
pornography epidemic,
yeah,
everything.
I think it very much is an epidemic. There's a lot of reasons why that could be. I think social media and isolation is definitely a large contributor. But because of this, you're starting to see that there is a lot of people now searching for meaning, and there is a kind of resurgence of faith. A lot of people are going back to literally Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just not in a trendy way, but like it is very much like it's coming back. And I think for a big reason, like, I don't know. I think some of it might just be like Jesus is literally the answer.
Yeah, for some people, he has to be.
Yeah.
Like, even from a pop culture standpoint, like, we're examples of practicing faith, but even from, like, a merch standpoint, like, I live pretty close to High Street. You will never go up and down High Street one time without somebody trying to preach to you or walking down a storefront and seeing something Jesus saves related. Like, it's everywhere, it's coming back, and for the right reasons. But you have to be open to receiving it, you know?
Yeah, and I think there's definitely a lot of stigma. And I look, I think some of it is valid.
Dude, if you were to talk to me 2 months ago and tell me to open the Bible and go to Mass, I would have told you to fuck straight off.
Yeah, literally. There's a lot of reason why people are pushed away, and as I mentioned earlier, like some people argue like, oh, a lot of, for example, like Catholicism is very forced, like forcing you to do these specific acts. And then you have people that are preaching on the street, and some of them might be not assholes, but they're just kind of like up in your face and just like, I don't want to listen to you. Like, I don't give a fuck what you have to say.
Yep.
And I think that's also an interesting discussion is like, is that for the good? Like what they are doing, like trying to literally force Jesus upon you, or
honestly, most likely not. I mean, if you're trying to force religion or spirituality down somebody's throat, that's just going to push them farther away from it. But I think with both of us, like, you got to be open to it. Like, it's got to speak to you before you go seek it out. And any preacher on the street when you're not open to it, dude, I would have kicked the dude straight in the balls if someone tried to preach to me on High Street when I was trying to walk around.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to, a process in terms of why it's coming back. Like, I think people are now just searching for meaning, for something. And specifically in men, there's a lot of, again, loneliness and people who are seeing all these things on social media, like, oh, people are super rich, they've got what have you, they're super successful, they're super jacked, or super rich.
I mean, you hit on one thing like 5 minutes ago. You talked about social media. Like one thing that I've noticed since I've become a little bit more involved in faith is I spend less time on social media. Like, it's such a toxic place to live because it's always a subject of comparison. Like, no matter how you look, no matter what you have, you're always comparing it to what other people are posting. And it is such a toxic highlight reel for people. Like, that's great for them, cool. But also, with faith, it's almost like it doesn't matter. And I'm spending less time on social media and not in the rabbit hole of trying to compare myself to other people. And it's pretty liberating to just be very content with the things that you're trying to do.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is very ego driven, and your ego, as I've come to realize, is the source of a lot of pain. It, like, your ego creates this conflict within you, and whether, it's for good or for bad, like, I don't know, what do you think in terms of ego and your relationship to, like, Jesus and God?
I think with ego specifically, it could be for better or worse. Like, obviously it's great to have confidence and be, have high self-esteem in who you are, but there's also a point to where you just need to surrender your ego, right? Like, God will figure all that stuff out for you. And if you have any type of an ego, it's going to be toxic and noticeable from a mile away. And I think the second you surrender to any type of negative thing in your life, that's where you're going to make progress as a person. So there's no blueprint in terms of how you surrender it, but acceptance is always like the first thing that you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about recently, like, therapy and different types of, modalities in terms of your mental health and what you can do. And I think acceptance is one of the biggest things you can do. It's like, for me, I can speak to it and say, I've been in this state of, like, disconnection and feeling like there's no, spice to life. And just, my brain is, like, constantly trying to, like, search for, like, why, what can I do? Like, what can I do? Like, what fucking protocol can I do right now that's going to get me to where I want to be?
What magic pill can I take in order to get myself the hell out of this situation?
Yeah. And there's not one that's going to get you out of it. It's just, a lot of it is the process. And you have to accept, this is where I am right now, and be able to love yourself and be like, okay, I am broken right now. And that's been extremely hard for me, because I am very much, like, I'm a process person, and I'm always trying to see what I can do to, like, optimize things. But when you have some of these, I don't know what you would kind of consider them, like, negative energies, or
they're almost traumas that people aren't afraid to open up or be vulnerable about, that just linger on and on.
Yeah, like this negativity that might be in your life, or these problems that might be in your life, you can either avoid them, and slowly that's just going to build up inside you, or manifest in many different ways. Mm-hmm. Or you can accept, this is where I am right now. Yeah, it might suck, but this is, like, again, part of my process. This is part of, like, my plan with God, like, what he has for me. This is what I need to go through. And
all that shit that you could suppress too, that could manifest into an ego that you're not proud of.
Yeah. Are you into kind of like have you heard of the shadow from Jung?
I have not.
Jung? Yeah, I think that's an interesting topic, which is also about somewhat of the ego, but also your dark side and how that can form. But you have so a lot of people have this. I guess in the context of men have a capability for violence and like have a capability for power, and it's not, you can't become the person that is.
You can't let all that violence out, is what you're saying?
No, not specifically. It's not so much about letting it out, but you can be full and competent as a man when you recognize that you have that capability, but then you can control it.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like you have these suppressed, whether it be like urges, emotions, it could be like sexually or physically, like recognizing that you have that, being able to understand who you are, like deep down, like all aspects of yourself, but then being able to then control that, and then that can ultimately like fuel who you are, if you can channel it in the right way. And
Interesting.
The problem with, again, your ego is you have all of these, whether it be desires or urges that have been, shaped by your experiences, like subconsciously, recognizing that you have that, but then being able to then turn it into someone you want to become. Like you can change that, you can change who you are, but you have to be able to fully recognize what you've gone through, like why you might be feeling specific ways. And yeah, literally like being able to channel that into something positive. Like I think for men, again, like this something brings it back to like fitness, and I think there's like kind of a resurgence of like fighting, so like MMA and jiu-jitsu, that's kind of the craze right now. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm a bro, I lift 5 times a week, I do jiu-jitsu,
I roll 3 times a week, lift 5 days a week, just never stop.
Yeah, and I think there's a good reason for that. Like again, it's being able to tap into like, this is like that is like the male energy.
Yeah, it's like the hyper masculine side.
Yeah.
Almost like, releasing just the inner man in you.
Yeah. But you have to be able to, again, like tap into that, because ultimately that is your power as a man. And again, that can be used for bad or good. And that's part of this whole process of like I said, kind of like the shadow. It's like understanding this is where you might have like darkness, but you can channel that darkness into something positive.
First off, love that. Channeling, or not even channeling, but realizing as a man, you have to know the good and the bad qualities of you in order to get rid of your ego, right? But second off, I think a lot of the guys in our generation refuse to even do the self-work in order to realize the good and the bad, which is why some of those egos manifest. Like it almost comes to a point, like, I'm sure you've met a lot of people to where like they don't even know themselves. Like they don't know who they are. They don't know they need fucking therapy to like actually figure out how to get through some traumas that they've been through.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about just like going deep. And for both of us, like we talk about,
we're not surface level people.
Yeah, like we've like our reconnection with God. It's like it's the same kind of idea. It's like when you kind of go through something so dark, you can either give up, and that's why a lot of men, there's a high suicide rate. Like a lot of men give up because it is so fucking hard. Like life is not easy.
It's a laundry list, bro.
Yeah, but when you go through that and then you search for meaning, some of that again comes from like your spirituality and religion, but also going through who you are and understanding why you might be feeling specific ways, and then truly understanding who you are, because when you understand who you are, you can accept it, and you can try and build yourself into someone you want to be, or you could just not, and you're never going to be happy with your life because you don't know who the fuck you are, why you're doing specific things. You're just kind of existing.
Exactly. Yeah, if you never do that deep work, you're never going to go towards the things that fulfill you at all. It's always going to be caught in this hamster wheel of just toxic habits and not figuring out who the actual version of you is that you want to put out into the world.
Yeah, and I know you've talked with me behind the microphone.
Off air.
Off air. recently about like what you want out of your career, and I know you mentioned like serving others.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like a little bit of background on that. Like I've been in corporate since I graduated college, and I've been in sales for 4 years, and it's just mentally fucking exhausting. Like it's not something that fulfills me. Like my customers are cool, but honestly, it doesn't bring me any type of happiness. Like the thing that I want to do in life now is help people and or serve people, however that will look like in the future. But that's kind of the beauty of it. Like you don't really need to have it all figured out on day one, but I would not have come to that realization if God did not appear back in my life. And he showed me and he reminded me of the things that I've wanted my entire life. And that's one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very, very happy for you. That like in a you know in a good and a bad way, you went through hell,
Yeah.
but that's also again, it's pointed you in the right direction. That this is who I am. This is what I need to be doing.
Yeah. Saw hell, but I will see earth every single day. But yeah, we both talked off mic of, how we want the rest of our careers to go. And we're so damn young too. Like we have time to figure it out, but we both have these fulfilling feelings that we want like later in our careers. And it's either now we pick up the mic and do this thing or we never will. And look at us, we're recording right now.
Yeah. Like, why do you think that serving others is going to fulfill you? Obviously, like on paper, people will be like, oh yeah, like, oh, you're doing something good for other people.
Oh
it's
yeah,
so
you're
great.
helping people. Great.
Yeah.
Good job, Nick. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I honestly, what's kind of funny is as I grow older into my 20s, I realize I'm closer or I'm more similar to my mom than I ever thought I was. Like she was always a person that was so selfless, and I'm noticing myself kind of mold into that also. But like over the last couple of years, even this year, I've been a pretty selfish person, whether it's diving down into fitness or other stuff that we've talked about off mic. But like now is a time to where you completely flip that on its head and you be selfless. And one of the things that I've done over the last month is try to be selfless and try to prioritize other things. And it's made me feel a different type of way than my professional job ever has, which has been really cool because I've never felt like I'm doing the right thing at my job. Like obviously, yeah, every 2 weeks you get your paycheck. Cool. You pay your bills. Awesome. But like there's a different type of feeling when you volunteer or you help people in certain aspects, or you be emotionally vulnerable with other people after you do that with them, and you genuinely help someone through a tough time. And that's a different type of fulfillment than my full-time job has ever given me.
Do you think that purpose, in terms of like general life purpose, do you think that comes from your career, or do you think that's also like that it's coming from that, whether it be like serving others? Like,
oh yeah,
is that like, is it the blend of the two, you think?
Yeah, I feel like we could do a whole other podcast just on that, like finding your life's purpose. Like I've always said that a pretty tough question, like finding your life's purpose inside or outside of your job. Like I think in very rare cases, people can marry both of those topics. Like you can do something with your life's purpose and have an income for it. Just because like flashback 20 minutes ago, like a lot of people go to work and have no purpose, no fulfillment in their job. But obviously everybody's a little bit different, but you need to have hobbies and structure outside of your job if you're not in that situation to have purpose in your life. Like God reminded me one day, like obviously I want to be a dad, I want to have kids, and I want to be a good husband to whoever it is later on. And I feel like that is going to be a huge purpose piece in my life, but also finding something that has purpose to your life that makes you money is going to be an important factor too. So yeah, that's a big up in the air one. That one's a tough one to answer, kind of.
Yeah, I think that's literally $1 million question. Yeah, it's something I've definitely toyed with over the last year, especially like trying to find meaning. Like, is that going to be filled by my job? Like, am I feeling like I am not on, or, I'm not living the life I'm meant to be living because my job is not satisfying me right now? Or is it because, I am not in XYZ relationship, I don't have kids? Is it because, I'm not doing something that's like serving myself as like a higher being? Like, is this what I'm meant to be doing or not? And that kind of comes back to, well, what are we meant to be doing? Is it just are we meant to be like living, and this is all part of God's plan? But it's also hard because it's like, where's like the autonomy? Like, do I get to choose like what I want to make of this life? Which, again, this is like a whole fucking bender of a question, like what you want to make of it.
I feel like it's very common for people 3 years older than us, 3 years younger than us, and even 30 years older than us to have the same answer of, I still don't know what I want to do with my life, right? So it is $1 million question. It's really hard to answer, but like, you need to have like some type of passion, some type of fire outside of your job. Like, one thing I've always wanted to do, and people have always kind of like nudged me to it, is get behind a mic. So hopefully with this, we can, help some people through some shit, or, just shoot the shit, let it rip type of a thing. But I mean, even talking for a little bit now, like, I don't know about you, very first episode, at first we had butterflies. Now I feel comfortable as fuck talking. So
I don't feel comfortable, but we're working on it. I also don't think I've got my personality out yet, but that'll come with time. But yeah, I think about the things that energize me, like what brings me enjoyment out of life. Yep. And I've come to realize over the last like year, a lot of it just comes from connection with people. Like, I absolutely love just making people laugh and like talking about like deep things like we are right now. Like, this is the stuff that truly energizes me. And we have these visions or expectations of what life is supposed to be, and it comes back to like the social media and like these perspectives that we've kind of created for ourselves, because we see these other people. It's like, it's all about money. Like, that's what life should be about.
I need to make this amount of money so I can have exactly what this guy has, and that equals happiness.
Right. And like, is that really purpose, or is that fulfillment? I don't know. I don't know. But like, I can say for me, the thing that, again, you could call it fulfillment, but like what brings me energy is like, talking with people and getting to know who people are, and whether it doesn't necessarily have to be like helping someone, but just connecting with people is what energizes me.
No, I'm the exact same way. Like, whenever I want to talk to close people around me, I don't want to talk about, oh, how was your weekend? How's the weather on vacation for you? I don't want to talk about surface level stuff. Like, I want to talk about like the hard stuff, like the stuff that actually has life to it. And that's how, like, in your adult life, that's how you know your real friends versus like transactional friends almost, is like, can I trust these people to go a little bit more in depth with their feelings, and can they be vulnerable, and can I be vulnerable back? Like, those are true friendships.
Dude, is this what it's like to fucking get old? Like, we just talk about our feelings as men?
Drinking beer in the garage at 40 years old, just talking about our feelings.
Yeah, man. I guess fuck therapy. We just need a 30 rack of Busch Light and sitting in the
Busch
garage.
Latte.
Football.
Busch Latte. Mm-hmm. I have a cutoff of a Busch Latte shirt. Fucking fantastic.
What's your favorite beer?
Dude, lime garage beer. No sponsor, but I wish it would happen someday.
Okay, I mean this in the nicest way and in the most PC way, but that's fucking gay.
Hey, don't talk shit about my 4% beer.
Respectfully, fuck Travis Kelce.
We can't say that.
Yeah, I know the Illuminati's about to come get me. The fucking NFL Illuminati who writes the script.
Oh my god.
Like we know Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. They're running shit behind the scenes. So
Okay, so if you called me a pussy for drinking lime garage beer, do you just drink straight motor oil? What's your drinking choice, bub?
Modelo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can get down with that. I like
Yeah.
Modelo.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of, I guess you could say, domestic beers. I don't know if you'd consider Modelo domestic, but yeah, I'd still kind of consider it in that class. Like, I don't like, Bud Light or
It's still a tasty light beer. I can get down with it.
it's like a lot. What you're going to the store and like, what do you see? Like Bud Light. I'm not going out of my way to drink a fucking Bud Light or Miller Light. Like, I don't know, it's not me.
See, I like all the shitty domestic beers.
But yeah, like, don't get me wrong. The best beer is the beer in my hand, but I don't know, man.
Give me an IPA. I would rather eat a tree than drink an IPA.
Oh, damn. IPAs are good. Oh gosh, now we're going down another rabbit hole. Like, the thing with IPAs, I think they're really tasty, but also, you have a couple of them and you're going to be, off your rocker.
Yeah, you're smacked.
Yeah. And also, I can't just drink a beer. Like, I have to drink many beers. I don't just have a drink with dinner.
There's no such thing as one beer. You either have none or 10.
Yeah, it's binary.
Yeah.
It's binary.
Well, when we were deep into our conversation earlier, I told Reed that I couldn't say this because we were actually firing on good cylinders, but I have a Dunkin' coffee cup in my hand, and the Christmas tree that Dunkin' decided to have looks like a butt plug.
Looks pretty hard, respectfully.
Yeah, it's like a triple layer butt plug.
Do you have something you need to tell me, bro?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
All right. No worries.
I-
I'll just let you know. I accept you no matter how you are, all right?
Not me being defensive. No. Well, Reed, we talked about kind of like just how we rekindled in our adult lives, and we talked about God and just how it's a really solid presence for a lot of individuals and how it can guide people to a lot of things. Good things in their lives. Also talked about beer, but looking forward to, diving deeper into other shit too. So anything else for you?
Yeah, God made beer for a reason.
God made beer. Well, God made corn. Corn made whiskey. Whiskey makes girls get a little frisky.
Oh, nice.
That's episode 1, fellas.
It's been an honor. It's been an honor.
That's a God damn it. What is that, a Luke Bryan song?